Hello, my name's Liz Wilson and I am the CEO, I guess, of Alchemy Bound Handmade Books. I wanted to introduce you to my bookbinding kit. It enables you to make 2 pamphlet style notebooks, which are lovely. One has a folded inner cover which you can use as a bookmark, and the other one is just a very simple pamphlet style notebook. Both of them are really excellent use with regards to using them in your handbag, I guess. They're good as gifts or stocking fillers. The kit itself, you make both of these books. That for someone who's interested in bookbinding, it's an excellent idea, an excellent concept, and it's a great introduction because it's a really simple stitch, the pamphlet stitch, but it gives you the basis for a lot of the more complex procedures in bookbinding. So let me show you inside the bookbinding kit and what you actually get. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make one of the booklets, and you can see how easy it is. Okay, first of all, bookbinding needle, safely ensconced. I'll take that out for use. Then we have a T-pin, which will be used for hole punching. We have a folder, which you can use to fold the edges of the page when we're folding them over. I use a bone folder, which looks something like this, but this for such a simple project is perfect. We have the thread that we're going to use, which is linen thread, one of my business cards. These are the pages you would use. In each kit there are 30 pages, and the pages are split into 2 for the 2 books. There's 15 pages each. It's an excellent paper. It's not too thick, so it's easy to work with, and it's just it's got a slight texture to it, lovely to actually write on and work with. That's one of the covers, and that's the other cover with the folding. And then you get the punching template, which shows you where to punch the holes in the paper and the covers, and then the all-important instructions. And they're double-sided, very easy to follow. Okay, so what I thought I might do is I might make this one. We'll pop this one back for now, and what we need to do first is get the bits out of the way and take the cover off this, and we will choose 15 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I'll pop the other ones back in there for now. Pop that to the side. Okay, so our first order of the day is to fold these 15 pages like this. So we're taking the short end and folding it over to the other short end, corner to corner. So just as neatly as possible. If you're not as completely accurate, it's not going to affect the finished product too much. Okay, so what I usually like to do is I fold it over, and then I kind of make a starting fold, and then I finish it off with the bone folder or the folding tool that's enclosed in the kit. And we need to do that with all 15 of them. So each of these separately, look at the sharp edge that it creates. Each of these, once they're folded, is a folio. And once they're all together and folded into each other, kind of like this, which is what you're going to do in the next step, and you place them inside each other, that's called a signature. Now most pamphlets would be single signature, which is what we're making here, a single signature pamphlet booklet. But a lot of books, especially the hardbound books, if you look at the way they're constructed at the edges, you'll notice that it's lots of little sections all sewn together, and that's a number of signatures sewn together to form a book. So you can see how this style of book is a good beginning point for learning not about the structure, but also about the technique needed. And you don't have to limit yourself to what's in the kit. If you do buy the kit, or if you choose to do something on your own, you can use paper bags, brown paper bags, recycle them if they've used and you want to feel guilty throwing them away. Any kind of paper really you could use. You just cut it to the size that you want, and away you go. Again, the covers don't have to be lovely looking cardboard. They can be whatever you have lying around the house that's going to provide a protective cover for the paper. Okay, so we're all done here. We've got all that nice edge. Now sometimes what I do like to do is to just rub my edge. It just cuts in that fold just a little bit more. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put them one inside the other and form the single signature that's going to form the basis of the pamphlet. So this doesn't take very long at all. It's very meditative, the whole process of folding and then putting the pages together. Oh, that's the one we already did before, so I'll leave that till last. Okay, so I'll put that around there. So as you can see, I'll bring them together, knock them up as it's actually technically called, strangely enough. So you can see that all the pages are now in together like that. Okay, so that's now our single signature. Very hard to say. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to fold the cover. So again, short corner to short corner and meeting at the corners. These corners here. And then, oh, look what I did. Okay, you need to be a bit more careful than me. I'm probably rushing just a touch. Kids are expected home from school shortly, but that's okay. Doesn't take long to make this book. Okay, now the next step is to make it easier, because we've only got this tool to do the punching. Like normally in my larger books, I would use this tool, which is an awl, and I've got it stuck for safety's sake into one of my empty champagne bottle corks. So you can see it's quite a sharp pointed edge, but it enables you to actually put a lot of weight on the top with the ball at the top. It's really quite handy. So not having that in the kit, I want to use what I've given people in the kit, and what I found easier to do if we only had this to work with was to split these papers into 4 sections. So we're just basically taking a few. Doesn't have to be exact, it's just approximate. It's just to make it easier to get the needle through the paper. All right, now what we're going to use is we're going to use the punching template, which was in the kit. This is some cardboard. You can, if you do make your own book, you can size up your own. And what it is, it's exactly the same length as the pages, and that makes it extremely easy for you to put it in, push it down so it's quite nicely within the V of the pages, and that'll make sure you get a nice hole that's directly on the crease that you've already made. What you do is you take your punching needle and you're going to make the holes in the paper, and I can actually hear them crunch as you go, and then you turn it over and you can see that the holes have been made. So we'll put that one aside. We'll do each of these in turn. Normally I would be able to do this all in one go with the awl that I showed you, but like I say, you work to the tools that you have. Check that the holes have gone all the way through. You don't have to exert a huge amount of pressure. My 8-year-old son can do it. Just enough that you hear that crunch. It's very, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it on the video. You could probably hear the school next door though, having their announcements for the end of the day. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our cover and also put the template in the middle, and we're going to punch our holes. Now, with the paper, the template fitted edge to edge of the paper, which made it easy to position. With the cover, you do have to place it down, and you have to work out, so from the template edge to the edge of the paper there, you can see there's a gap, and the same here. You want to make these two edges approximately the same. So that edge from there to there, and from there to there, looks about the same. That's fine. So we're going to make sure that that stays put while we put it into the V as tight as we can, which will help with the holes sitting exactly where we want them. And we're just going to use the same template again to make those holes. Okay, so I'm assuming you can see those holes, and you can see that they've come out on the spine there. Okay, so we're nearly there. We're basically ready for sewing now. That's how easy it is. We just need to make sure that that stays in there, otherwise it's just going to fall out. Alright, so here's where we use our bookbinding needle, which comes in the kit. And of course they're all reusable. They are a proper bookbinding needle. Now the thread that I have in the kit is a cream cotton linen thread. And it's a proper bookbinding thread. It's very strong, like you'd find with your normal thread. If you only have normal cotton thread, you might want to double it up, or if you have a thick, like I've used quilting thread before, or I've used, I often use the MC embroidery thread, and I have seen people make books from dental floss. That can be used as well, because dental floss often is already waxed. This is a waxed thread, and what that helps with is the knot staying in place. Traditionally, you would use waxed thread. Now there's an awful lot of this thread because it's for the 2 books. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure out 2.5 times the length of the book, and that'll be enough for us to do it. So generous lengths. I'll show you. So 1, 2, and I'll make it 3. So we want to chop it just about there. Okay. Oh, I suppose I better chopped it at the wrong end, didn't I? I'll have to thread it again. Now then, let's have a look. Okay. Alrighty. So first things first, we're going to find our hole in the center of these. We're going to put these together so they're nice and tight. So you've got a nice straight edge there. And it should just go straight through. There you go. A little bit of a push required because your needle's thicker than the hole that you made, but other than that, nothing too strenuous. Now this tail we've got taken it through the middle hole. We want to hold onto that tail because otherwise it's just going to fly straight through that hole, and it's going to undo all our stitching. So then you're going to take the needle straight through the middle hole of the pamphlet, like so. And it's a little bit fiddly to hold on to that edge, but it's important we do. And there you go, it's already slipping. So then we're going to take it into one of the other holes on the outside. Doesn't matter which side you go. I normally go right side, so I'm going to take it through the cover. I'll show you. And then it's going through the pages too. So through the cover, and then through the pages. That's it. Again, just watch your fingers. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's not too hard. And pull that through, all the while holding on to this end. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this needle and we're going to miss this hole, and we're going to go all the way to this hole. Again, a little bit fiddly because the needle's bigger than the hole that we made in the paper, but not so big we can't get it through. And then we're going to put it through the hole that we made in the cover. Still holding on to that edge. I nearly forgot. Okay. Now we've got the double end coming out there, so we just need to pull that a little. Okay. And then you'll see from the inside, so we've got the thread that we put through, and that's the end we had. Then we've come back in here and we've got a thread running all the way over to here. Now what we have on the outside is one thread there. And if I pull this, that'll make that nice and tight, nice and taut. Feels better. And then we've got the thread coming out of this hole, and what we're going to do to finish it off is go straight back into the hole that we originally started with, but we're going the opposite way, so we're going out to in. And then we're going to pull that all the way through. And we should be able to let go of that now because it's kind of locked itself in place. Okay, so we've pulled that nice and tight. We can cut off the thread. You see we had lots of thread at 2.5, so you could probably get 4 books out of what's in the kit. We're going to tie a knot. So what we're doing is we've got some thread in the left hand, some thread in the right hand. We're going to take the left hand side over and then through the hole like that. Same as if you were tying your shoelaces, the first knot that you would do. And now you swap the left hand side to the right. So now you take the right hand side over the top and through and pull. Nice and tight. That's actually called a square knot. Very useful knot because you can tighten it a little bit after it's tightened, if that makes any sense at all. Now what I normally do, you see how the thread is naturally wanting to go either side. I just snip it off a little bit shorter than where the holes were that we stitched. I take my needle and I just put it under and just bring it through because it kind of holds it in place, and do the same with the other side. There we go. And it just kind of holds it there just a little bit. And then we close it up. And what I like to do is I get my bone folder and I'll just give it an extra little crease just to settle in. Sometimes with a lot of the thicker books, what I will do is put them under weights. I don't think I have, oh, and I do. Look what I use as a weight. I covered an actual, what do you call them? Bodybuilding people weights. I covered it in gaffer. So you could do something like that, or a bag of rice or something. You don't have to. It's just an optional extra. And there you have it. The book completed. So if you notice, so we open it up. Now you can use these edges as bookmarks. And the other cover, I'll show you the completed one here. So the other cover doesn't have those edges, but it's completed in exactly the same way. Exactly the same. You get a nice clean edge. Now if you wanted to, you could actually do the stitching backwards and then you'd have your knot on the outside and you could fringe it or add beads or something like that. Totally up to you. That's what bookbinding's all about. It's about using your imagination, finding exciting ways to make books. So that's it. The kit makes 2 books, one like that and one like that, in no time at all. Excellent for people want to know about bookbinding, and also excellent for yourself because you get 2 useful items out of it. And yeah, what more could you want from something creative? I'm Liz from Alchemy Bound Books. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope it helps. Thanks. Bye.